How did you first hear about peptides, Nate? And what made you curious enough to look deeper?
I first heard about peptides when, I was in my early 30s. It was like right before, I was thinking about doing tests, but I didn't really want to like jump all the way in to testosterone. It was
How old are you now?
36.
36
now.
years ago.
Yeah, so 6 years ago, started looking at tests as an option. Then I heard about peptides. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm getting into my 30s. Things are starting to hurt a little bit more in the gym, not recovering quite as much. And, I heard the downsides of testosterone at that time. It was like, okay, it's a little scary to get into. So instead I jumped straight into peptides. It's like,
so I'm curious about the downsides of testosterone.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, that was before I learned a lot of things that I know now.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, oh, you jump into test, your fertility goes to zero. And at that time I didn't have any kids.
Okay.
And that was kind of one of those things where I was a little leery about jumping all the way in.
Did you hear peptides online? Social media?
Yeah, it was a social media thing. I learned from a teledoc service, and that's who I ended up using.
Transcend.
Transcend, yeah.
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
I'm gonna cut that out because we don't want to name other labs.
So expensive.
Yeah. What about you?
And then did you try them?
I did. I tried them.
So you tried peptides before TRT?
I tried peptides before TRT, yes.
Now, why were you looking into TRT? Did you just feel off? Something wasn't right?
Man, as a man, you want every edge you can get that's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt your family.
Okay.
So you want to take those.
But you felt okay?
Yeah, I felt great. I felt, it was a little bit.
See, because I felt off.
Yeah.
I felt off at a young age.
Yeah.
But see, back in the day, started working at a supplement store. 04, way back when. So this is like right when internet was getting popular and supplement stores, not like this one, looked very different, but we actually had internet stations in the corner with 3 computers because you didn't have internet on your phone.
Yeah.
So people would come up and they would sit down and hang out for an hour and
That's
play
right.
on the internet.
That's right, you're old. You had the whole internet cafes.
What are we, 7 years?
Internet cafes. / smoothie
So you
cafes.
get a smoothie, we'd do tanning, and then they would sit on the internet.
Gym tan smoothie, bro.
Yeah.
Internet.
So back then, we didn't know any better. I mean, nowadays you can get, syringes, needles, everything on Amazon, get delivered to you next day. Back then you couldn't find them.
It's wild, right?
So you had to get a prescription to actually get a needle because it was more drug related than anything else.
Yeah.
So, and then back then there was like one website, Napscare. That was the only, it's still around today.
It's still around.
That's where you buy testosterone, everything like that. Or you go to your homie in the gym and have no idea what you're getting.
Yeah, that's right.
But unlike you, I knew I was off because I was doing, Pro Hormones came out in 2018. I don't know if you remember Mark McGuire with the Pro Hormone bottle behind him.
Yeah.
And saying that's how he got big and that's how he's hitting all his home runs. So we went out to the local vitamin store at 18, bought the Pro Hormones, chewed them, put them under your tongue, and just got big.
Shoot them up.
Yeah,
so
it was
all
good.
under the tongue.
And that's how we were messing with all our hormones at an early age.
Yeah. No, I actually did dabble with a small cycle in my 20s. I did some D-ball and some test. Had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Was trusting a buddy that he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And
because the information wasn't available like it is now on social media, on YouTube, on the internet.
Sure.
I swear it was, what the heck was his name? The mutant guy.
Oh yeah, I just saw him this weekend.
Well, he's dead.
He died?
No, God, what? I don't know, you can cut that out. God, he died. What was he? The Freak.
There's a guy out right now, and his nickname's The Mutant.
The Mutant?
Yeah.
So this guy was kind of the one, and I'll go back, because I almost had him at one of my grand openings for the store, but it was way too expensive. I had to buy way too much product to get him there. But he passed away a couple of years ago.
How do I keep this screen on all the time?
What screen?
Like, it keeps going to the lock screen, so how do I just keep this on so I don't have to keep unlocking my screen?
Probably settings.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I usually have my daughter do all that. But he was kind of one of the first that came out and actually started being open about testosterone, open about steroids, and talking about them. And because back in the day, it was this faux pas where you'd see some muscle-bound huge freak at the gym, and I thought it was hilarious because I knew exactly what they would say. I'd always go up to him, "Bro, you're huge. What are you taking?" "Oh, just creatine and a multivitamin, man." And I'm like,
BS.
"You're out of your
way.
mind.
No way.
Out of your mind." So we were all dabbling back then, testosterone in our apartments, all our roommates shooting each other up, stuff like that. But of course we weren't staying on it. We would cycle on it. God knows what it was. God knows how much it was. God knows if we were even putting it in the right place.
Yeah.
And then, so you're just jacking your hormones up, especially at a young age when they're still growing and building. And so we're going up and we're going down, and then we're going back up and then we're going back down. So right about the age 24, I realized I just don't look at women the same way I used to. Not in a gay way, just in a, hey, high five,
Yeah.
best friend kind of way.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, this isn't right. So this was back in probably 06, 07. But back then, like, you had to go to the doctor. There weren't testosterone clinics. So you had to go to the doctor, get a referral to go to an endocrinologist. And testosterone was not something that was just pumped out like it is today, like no big deal. Hit a certain number, here's your prescription, go pick it up, there you go. Or go to a therapy place every week. They'll run your bloods a couple times a couple times a year, and then shoot you up and you're good to go. So he looked at me and my testosterone was super low, but he's like, I don't know, you're young, you're fine, you'll bounce back. I'm like, bro, I'm not fine. I know I'm not fine. With my girlfriend, I want to high five her every night and go to sleep, don't care about anything else. I'm like, this is not how I used to feel.
Yeah.
This ain't right.
It's not supposed to be a high five.
No. So you just had to keep going through buddies and going through buddies and going through buddies, but just, not doing stuff the right way.
Yeah.
Not like it is today with all the information and everything out there.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys now on social media that are just not afraid to say, hey, I'm on T. I'm on T. I'm taking peptides. And it's not really a shameful thing anymore. It's more of like, hey, having a high T level is what a man needs. It's healthy. I mean, just the same thing, the facade of having a low cholesterol score.
Yeah.
Like a low total cholesterol score.
Well, and the funny part is they keep lowering the threshold and lowering the threshold so they can prescribe more. Or cholesterol, I mean, they keep lowering that number so they can put you on statins and everything else.
That's
and
it.
Jack
man.
your body up, build you in the system, keep pumping you full of medicine, fix symptoms or treat symptoms, and then create another problem where they can prescribe more medicine.
Yeah. I just saw a study this morning, and I'm probably have to paraphrase it. It was a Swiss study that talked about individuals that had a high total cholesterol score were living to 100 years plus.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, because cholesterol is actually good for you.
Yeah, I mean,
it runs a lot of your cells. It runs a lot of your body.
If you're watching podcasts these days, you understand that the brain is predominantly made of fat. You keep reducing your cholesterol level, you're reducing what your brain is actually made of.
But that's what they want.
That's what they want.
And that's why we're on the other side of things.
Yeah.
So peptides, 6 years ago.
6 years
Found
ago.
them. Tried them. What'd you try?
Found them. First peptides I tried were, I think BPC 157 was one of the first ones I got on.
Was it because you had an injury?
No, it was one of those things. It was like, hey, I'm in the gym a lot.
Sure.
I want to recover faster.
Yeah.
This is, like, I was talking to the guy and I was like, how do I do that? And he's like, hey, let's get you on PPC 157. And when it was a script, so I got a script to me and it was pretty expensive. But I felt great. I felt like I was on top of a mountain. Like when I would, it's not like an actual physical feeling, but it was, after being 3-4 weeks on it, it was one of those things where, man, I'm waking up and I don't feel as sore.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm ready to go back in. And when I hit the gym, I feel fresh. And it was a feeling that, you're not chasing it. It's not like a drug where an addict is chasing that feeling, that the high of a peptide high or BPC 157 high. No, it was just like, wow, I feel like I'm in my young 20s lifting weights and recovering faster than I ever had.
Yeah. And then what'd you try?
After that, he had put me on some other meds, pregnenolone. It's like for increasing DHEA. And then also...
That's popular with older women, correct?
Yeah.
Getting almost back anxiety.
Yeah, when you have DHE, low DHE. It's
Pregnenolone, testosterone, and there's a third too. Because I have a family member that just hopped on that as a female.
Yeah.
In her 40s. and said it works wonders for anxiety and everything like that. And I think that's underrated too, that I think a lot of women don't pay attention to their hormones, in a sense that we are taught as we get older, especially pre-menopause, menopause, post-menopause, post-birth, everything like that, that the body's just going to bounce back. Or that it's just degrading over time, and that's just the norm, and that's just what you have to deal with, and you're just supposed to run with it.
Yeah, it's what we've been told and what reality is a lot different.
It's scary.
Yeah.
COVID's a good example of that.
Oh, that's one of the
COVID's a
bigger
great
eye
example
openers
of that.
for me in multiple facets of our life, with the kids, how we choose to feed them, if we do or don't give them vaccinations, which we didn't, none. And our kids are healthier than ever. And we pay attention to who we give them. We listen to people that are smarter than us to take advice, and it's not non-related to someone with a PhD.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a weird thing to say, because our parents listening to something like this would be like, you're not going to take advice from your doctor about your kids? Do you not love your kids?
Yeah, and they also believe everything they see on Fox News and MSNBC and ABC.
Or the pharmaceutical commercials
Yeah.
that you see on TV, which
gosh.
is also a big problem.
It's like every
in
other
America
commercial.
right now. Yeah.
And then every ending ends with,
Yeah.
might die.
Yeah.
It's okay, but you might die.
Possible.
No big deal.
They read off all the side effects, and they do them fast, real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As these people are dancing around on the TV, having a
Sudden
great
explosive
time,
diarrhea
at a
and
sudden
sudden
picnic,
death.
frolicking in the sunflowers, going
Yeah.
through life.
Yeah.
So happy on this medicine, so happy.
Yeah. So when was the first time you heard about peptides?
Man, peptides way back when. Gosh, I think obviously that internet machine, and I had a lagging shoulder injury, and gosh, this is back when. Nowadays, and I think maybe there's a super low percentage of people that actually know about peptides, let alone what a peptide is, because there is this huge faux pas that when you introduce a needle, it becomes drugs. Or you introduce a needle and now it's, oh my gosh, performance enhancing drugs, steroids, whatever it might be, bad, because we're all taught bad.
Yeah.
Bad. And so I want to say early 2000s, went online, nagging shoulder injury. And it's interesting because this will get into protocols if we talk about protocols. I bought a bottle of TB500, 5 milligram, and it said, put the water in the entire thing, but you had to go to a pharmacy online to get the damn water.
Yeah.
You had to go get your syringes to get or online at the pharmacy to get the syringes. Again, it wasn't at our disposal like it is now. They make it so easy. And I took that TB500, probably 5 milligrams. I don't know if it was 10, my guess is 5. And then popped it in, boom, shoulder was healed. And that's gonna lead to the protocols of everybody doing this glow and doing the TB500 every day. And a guy that we follow and we trust says 5 to 7 days, TB500, 5 milligrams. And that's how your body works the best. Well, that worked for my body. Then the next one was melanotan too. So I wanted to be tan. I saw this guy I think he worked at the gym. I worked at a different supplement store then. And the dude was literally, he was wider than me because I got some pretty tan skin. And probably 2 weeks later, he was like a couple of shades less of like a black dude. And I was like, dude, that's melanotan, huh? He goes, yeah. So I was like, shoot, I want to try it. So did that. The only downside, nausea. You do too much, you can be real nauseous, but did a little bit of research, looked into it. Unfortunately, it was at the worst college on the planet that discovered it, University of Arizona. I went to ASU, so that's my rival. Half of my family went to U of A, half of us went to ASU in Arizona State. And but what they did was they discovered this as helping people. There's so much research on so many other benefits that it does, but it helped people with melanoma stay out of the sun. Don't get me started on sun cancer and what causes that and what causes melanoma. That's a whole different podcast. But they could do short instances out in the sun and literally just dark as shit.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I have a picture, and I just you turn dark.
Yeah.
Very dark. But it also can help with erectile dysfunction too. I didn't have that. That's where we're going, but I didn't. I swear.
Yeah, I swear.
Tried that. That was great.
Yeah.
And then, gosh, I think you know that story. Stumbled upon Redditry 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And then that changed my life, opened my eyes. You know, I've had people coming in stores, talk about peptides for years and years. And I'm like, oh, peptides, whatever. What do they really do? I never really looked into it. Are they that great? I knew all about anabolics. Anabolics are strong, building muscle, recovery, you know, the end all be all to everything, and surrounded myself in the bodybuilding life. Never did any of that because I didn't understand the process, nor did I ever want to diet. I like pizza, hot dogs, and macaroni.
Yeah.
Eat like a 5-year-old. Or I used to eat like a 5-year-old. But so I didn't, you know, to get on show and get on stage, I mean, you gotta have to love that process. The people that, you know, do the bodybuilding and stuff, they're just wired differently.
Yeah, the whole banana hammock's not for me.
Right. As I get older, I don't give a shit what people think anymore. But it's crazy what they do because they're on stage for a minute and a half, and this is years of prep.
Yeah.
And taking care of their body and eating X amount of calories and growing and slimming down and leaning out and then growing and anabolics and the money and the drive and the not going out with their friends and basically excluding their entire life because not a lot of people grasp the mentality of what these people go through. It's just insane.
Yeah. You know, as you, like, back then, you know, I feel like steroids, testosterone, all that stuff was really taking the center stage for bodybuilding. People are like, peptides, oh, you know, the effects are minimal. You know, they're not immediate. Like, it's a longer time for these kick in. Oh, health and wellness, longevity. Yeah, I want to pin and win.
Yeah. Well, health, wellness, and longevity. I mean, everything is creams and dusts and a bunch of topicals that everybody thinks is going to work, or taking greens, or taking certain vitamins, or teas,
or
non-encapsulated
supplements that you just poop out anyways.
Yeah, and they put an attractive person on Instagram or social media, or this. Oh my gosh, take this is what I did. But that's funny too, because before internet, you could have access to all this information, and depending on where you got the information, accurate or not accurate, all we had back in the day is magazines, and we had bodybuilding magazine. Mm-hmm. So you'd see this muscle-bound freak with just veins popping out, muscles everywhere. And back then, and I thought that was cool. As I get older, I don't. That's not my thing anymore. It's about being longevity and about being healthy, living a long time, and watching our kids grow up.
It's more of a focus. Of like, let's focus on longevity so we can be there for our families.
But these guys would have, you know, a supplement behind them and be like, I took this is how I got that. We'd be like, shit, let's run out to the store. I'm buying that. I'm gonna turn into this freak in the gym.
Oh yeah.
And you did really believe that stuff, so it's hard to knock people to. You know, I get people all the time that come into the store and like, oh, I tried the teas, I tried the powders, I tried all. It's just not working. I'm like, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Sure.
So it's just, it's hard, man, being lied to. So I think too with peptides, that was the, hey, what are these things? What truly are there? And there wasn't anybody out back in the day just pushing them, promoting them, talking about them, and really diving into the biology and the science behind them to teach you, hey, exactly what these are, how they work, how they function in your body, that they're not outside sources, like all this other stuff with supplements and topicals and pellets and testosterone, and implementing those in your butt and somehow releasing it in a timely manner. And
this rolls into a great next question here. So how do you separate hype from credible research?
I think what I've learned is not to buy into headlines.
That's huge.
Because headlines are made to sell. I think the older I get, understanding how important research is, and again, where you go for your research. If you go and you want to learn about the world and you go to the news, well, you're getting one viewpoint and one agenda, and they're pushing you one way, and then you go to a different station, they're pushing you another way.
Yeah.
Trump's bad, Biden's bad, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what the hell? Nobody's getting anywhere. And so I think now that, I mean, social media has been massive, but once you find that person that you trust and you believe them, but they actually have all the science and the biology and the physiology to back it up, and you start doing your own research and diving into what these things do and how they work and how they operate. And then what's cool is, I swear it was just yesterday, I started connecting the dots and understanding how so many of these so-called diseases and autoimmune disorders and names I can't even pronounce are all so closely related to each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the evil things that they're doing out there in this world is, you have a problem, no matter what it is, we're going to put a name on it, and then we're going to prescribe something for it. And then it's just, they'll take the smallest subcategory of something and then put a name on it, and oh my gosh, this is what you have. So it's okay, be comfortable, you don't have a problem, this is your disease, bud, you got to deal with it. And we're going to manage the symptoms instead of actually fixing the problem.
Manage decline.
Yep.
That's
terrible.
it.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like a pat on the back. Hey, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But you got to accept this.
Yeah.
This is what you have. Yeah. And you just need to accept it. Well, and this pill right here, this is going to fix you.
Yeah.
You trust me.
It's almost like a cold.
Yeah.
It's like once they get you in, they have to keep you and you're brainwashed into that system. And you got to go by their rules, and you're only allowed to do certain things, and here's your medication, and trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is going to help you because I'm a doctor. I went to school. I paid a lot of money. Would I ever take this stuff myself? Probably not, but I'll never tell you. It's kind of like the vaccine things. When you see the presidents and everybody and Bill Gates, oh my gosh, getting up there and pushing vaccines. That dude would not take a vaccine if they could pay him $1 billion, because he knows exactly what's in it. He knows exactly the toxins that are going to mess you up. He knows what it could do to your future and how it could ruin your body. But hey, I like money. I like power. I like all this. You're going to take this, and I'm going to tell you to take this, but God, I'm not going to take it myself.
And
do as I say, not as I do.
They're all betting on that you're not going to figure out how to do your own blood work, to learn to take the time to understand what those blood panels say, and take them, whether it's quarterly or bi-yearly, to focus in on what's going on inside your body. They're banking on that because, when you get blood at the doctor's office, how often do they actually give you a printout and say, here's your blood panel?
Right. Or teach you
what
you're looking at. Hey, this is good. Hey, everything's fine. Oh, this is a little bit low. Oh, your creatinine levels are high. I had a guy come in the other day and talk about that. I'm like, dude, it's bullshit. I'm like, just so you know, but he's an older guy. He's in his 70s. And I'm like, I'm not going to convince you that it is. But it's funny you said that, because I was having a talk with my wife the other night. And this machine that we have, the body, right? Depending on how you think we became, right? So I believe in God, you believe in God. We're men of faith, so we believe that's how we got here. So we believe that God gave us everything that we need and built our bodies the way they're supposed to have the best life possible, right? So why alter it? Why mess with it? And that'll get us into peptides, and they're not altering, they are just enhancing in the same sequences. But I was talking to my wife, and I was like, nobody understands this machine. So we spend the most time in our life with our own machine, our own body, right? Over anybody else, over our wives, over our children, over our friends. This is our body. But none of us understand how it works, what makes it function. Food, sure, food feeds it, but obviously the way we eat, we still don't grasp how that actually relates into the way it operates, or the type of energy we have, or sleep, or any type of environmental issues, what's in our water, stuff like that. And we're not taught, we don't ever take the time to learn how to make our bodies better, right? They think, okay, exercise, okay, take protein, take fat burners, calories in, calories out, macros, protein, carbs, fat, blah, 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 blah. Old song, but we are never taught how the systems work, and then diving into that actually the systems aren't as complicated as they sound. But we're never taught that stuff. Why do you think that is?
At the end of the day, they want lifetime patience, and we can get into all kinds of conspiracies, and touch on one. It would be we're really taught at a young age, hey, you got to grow up, you got to get a good job, you got to go to a great school to get that good job, and then when you're in, you got to work hard. I don't want to go too far to the college stuff, but you got to get a good profession, and you got to work real, real hard. And there's just not a lot of focus on general health and wellness. It's almost like, let's focus on this status and get to a certain place in your life so you can afford the things you want to do. You can buy that nice truck, buy that nice car, you can buy that nice boat, but there's not a lot of focus, or at least recently there's been a lot of hype on focus and a lot of alternative means of health and wellness, which is why we're here today to talk about some things.
And I think what you're touching on is there is no preventative care. It's not about preventing things anymore. It's about something god awful happening to you. Oh shit, now what do? I will do anything to change it. What can you give me?
And then that goes back to the manage decline thing. Let's just manage it.
instead of taking care of yourself.
Yeah, let's just manage
And
it. Let's figure out how
that's a
we
hard
can
thing, though.
manage
We're
this
not
thing.
taught how to take care of ourselves.
And that's an unfortunate
But
thing.
then you're talking about this industry, the supplements industry, the trainer industry, the obviously medical industry, all of it. They try to confuse us so much. And when you confuse people, they buy. It's one of the easiest things. And then you make it, if I'm in the supplement industry and I confuse people and I talk real smart and make it sound like all this stuff, they're very confused and everybody's always contradicting themselves. So everybody's like, oh my gosh, I have no idea. I'm just going to buy it. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm putting. I have no idea what's in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in here. You don't know what's in your damn hot dogs or your sliced turkey that's been sitting on the shelf for God knows how long.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the fun part. Nobody questions that. Nobody questions the Tylenol, the Advil, the ibuprofen, the allergy medicine, the Sudafed, whatever it may be that they've been on for God knows how many years. But you give them an idea of something completely natural, but it comes in a vial and a powder that you have to mix it up with some damn water.
Yeah.
And then you got to put it in a needle or syringe. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know.
Whoa, yeah.
Natural. Wait, hold on. I'm going to go back to eat my cereal, eat my hot dogs. Let me think about this.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's like that clear line in the sand? It's like, you know, I just had a conversation.
My honest opinion? Because people are stupid.
You know,
I'm just going to go for it.
yeah,
But I was stupid at one point
yeah,
until I started thinking for myself. And then that's a whole other thing we could get into is school. But we're taught to believe, not taught to think. That's an issue. We're taught to get all our information from one source. What we tell you is what it is. This person gets paid a lot of money. This surgeon gets paid a lot of money. So they're going to tell you what they think should happen and you should do it.
sure.
Surgery. Everybody's getting surgery nowadays.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Knee
I remember when I was a kid,
hip
nobody was getting
replacement.
surgery. It was like very rare.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're getting surgery. What are you, dying? Now it's like, oh, you got a hurt shoulder surgery, hurt wrist surgery, finger surgery, knee surgery, back surgery. Oh, let's give you 2 new hips. No big deal. You won't be able to walk in 10 years, but that's okay. Let's replace that.
Yeah, the recovery time on most of these surgeries these days is just
That's if they go right.
yeah,
Which they don't go right. You don't get an infection in it. And you're putting a outside, again, peptides are natural, right? We haven't even gotten into that, but natural sequences in your body that mimic everything in your body. Now we're taking surgery and putting outside, God knows whatever it is, and replacing something in your body. What do you think your body's going to do? It doesn't like that. Right?
no.
That
And
gets
then
into
you're
breast
putting-
implants.
Yeah, you're putting foreign metals in your body, and people,
Yeah.
you know, I think the metric is like 1 out of 10 people have a negative side effect with putting titanium and the other metals inside their body. With
I would
like,
imagine it's better.
I mean, they literally cut out some of your bone, and then they screw in a bunch of metal to re-support whatever it is, knee, shoulder, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And these foreign metals cause a lot of damage to the body, not just on an infection level, but you know, you put metals inside the brain, that's no good. And that stuff seeps through your blood.
That's scary.
Very scary. Yeah.
8:13.
One thing
dive into Retta?
I did not even check the frame on this, so I'm hoping we're good here.
Ooh.
Am I in frame?
Yep. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Except this shelf looks like dog shit.
So, do you want to dive into one specific thing? Because
I don't know.
we could save it for another time. This is more of like origin story, how we got into this.
Okay.
So here's another. This is a good question.
When I wake up and I know I'm gonna...
What surprised you the most once you started studying the science behind peptides?
How so many diseases, so many disorders, so many problems are really the same thing. How they are so interchangeable and relate. And you know, I heard somebody say, and I started doing more research, and somebody that we trust, and said there are 3 reasons for everything that happens in your body. One is systemic inflammation, not inflation. Inflation sucks too. Holy shit. Yeah. So systemic inflammation. Number 2 is insulin sensitivity. And number 3 is energy. And those 3 categories relate to almost every disorder, disease, immune, everything. It's one of those 3, 2 out of those 3, or maybe 3 out of those 3. And I have been very interested, and I told you that, diving into the actual biology. I have no background on biology. I mean, I went to school, I went to college for 8 years, and I'm not a doctor. So I started, stop, ended up getting a degree in finance, business, all that fun stuff. And then I said, what the hell am I doing my senior year? This is stupid. Not knowing what I wanted to do. I knew I loved supplements, I love fitness, stuff like that. So started working at supplement stores and said, shit, I bet I could own one of these things. Could I manage being in this box for 16 hours a day, whatever it may be, 7 days a week when I go crazy? But I always knew I wanted to own a business and start something. And, but getting into the supplements and everything like that, you're like, God, these don't fix anything. These don't do anything. There's a purpose and a place for them. There's a purpose and a place for protein, fish oil, vitamin D, magnesium, minerals, creatine, of course. Oh gosh, all the raving information. I mean, before you had to convince somebody 5 years ago that, holy cow, creatine's not going to hold water, and put on 20 pounds of just some water bloated monkey. And now it's like everybody, oh my God, give me creatine, give me creatine. It's never changed.
Sure.
Nothing's ever changed.
No.
Nothing. But it's just like something comes out. I mean, but what's funny here is all of the trendy stuff, right? So ashwagandha blows up on TikTok, and all of a sudden I get hundreds of people coming in. Oh my God, where's your ashwagandha? I need this, need this, need this. I'm like, hey, cool, man, sure. And I think what sucks is that in this business, in the supplement business, it's really hard because you want to be honest with people, but people don't want the truth. They don't want the truth because it's either going to burst their bubble and it will discount everything that they believed, or the other thing is everybody believes that, oh my gosh, if I take this magic pill or this magic powder or this magic tea and I go exercise a little bit and everything will be healed and fixed. It's like, you know, you go to the gym, and I'm sure you belong to tons of gyms in your life, but you see the same people at the same gym over and over again. So if you're there for a couple of years, 5 years, however long it be, you see these same people. They never change. They never change. They might fluctuate a little bit and then not. Or sometimes you see them, you're like, holy shit, what the hell happened to you? Looks like you got stung by a bee, or you just stopped working out and just started eating everything in sight like a damn sewer. Like, it's insane and it's sad. So people don't want the truth.
It's interesting how we don't treat that as an illness. The fact that, you know, you can shove your pie hole with pizza and just all this garbage food, and you can get obese, but we don't look at that as an illness.
No, well,
it's
what happened
almost like shocking.
What happened a couple of years ago? Right.
Sure.
Big is beautiful. All the ad campaigns. Hey, fat's cool. Fat's beautiful. Don't fat shame. Stuff like that. And I don't believe in shaming anybody. That is not a way to do anything. Of
course not.
But to lie to people and to say fat is okay and love yourself, all you're doing is excusing laziness, and all they are doing is hurting themselves. I mean, if you're fat, your organs, your liver, everything, I mean, they're just suffocating and drowning in energy. And nobody wants to fix themselves. But then again, what happens if you fix yourself? You're not a part of the medical association anymore. You're not in the system anymore. So if I'm a doctor and I teach you to be healthy, where's the upside for me? You're not coming back.
That's right.
I don't make money on an office visit.
Lifelong patients. That's what they're going for.
That's...
Yeah, you know, back to the shocking people's belief systems. It's almost like one of those things. You know, I had a conversation with a family member this weekend, and one of them is suffering from a recent illness that we discovered. And I try to explain this, and, you know, those are, I got a really good doctor. And I'm not downplaying the doctors in this world, because we need doctors. But oftentimes they're not looking at alternate means of medicine. And when they do, it's a glance. It's a glance. They're not diving into it deeply. But you know, that on-ramping period of like bringing somebody and breaking down their belief system, for me, it was like, there was several moments in my life over the last decade that was like, okay, this is different. Why is it this way? And then all of a sudden you learn something new. It's like, well, let's learn about that.
Let's
take the time to actually read it instead of just call it a farce and just
maybe
write it all the way off.
Isn't what it is. But then, that's the other hard part. You're asking for self-awareness. And most people don't have self-awareness. Because they set up this belief system to what? Keep them safe and keep them in this bubble, and it protects them. So if you burst that bubble and throw out a different idea that COVID was made up and that this isn't real and it's just the flu and the vaccine's gonna kill you, whoa. Hold on, weirdo. Take your tinfoil hat off.
Sure.
That can't be. So then what do? They get defensive and lash out. It's a defense mechanism. And I think we've all been there and we've all done that. And just having that self-awareness and realizing that, hey, maybe what I thought and maybe what I read isn't the truth. And it's kind of like, this goes to a study. One of our friends called our daughter the other day and was like, hey, promise me you won't take melatonin ever again. I'm like, what the shit? What is he talking about? Just promise me. And I go, what are you talking? The 2025 American Heart Association came out with a study that taking melatonin will give you heart failure. And I'm like, where the shit did this come from? I'm like, this doesn't even make sense because I've read about all the health benefits of melatonin, cognitive, prevention of the C word, things of that nature. Obviously fixing your circadian system, helping us sleep more in a natural sense and way, and obviously depending on where you get your products, what they're made of, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, this just can't be. And this goes back to the headline thing, right? People grab headlines. They're like, oh, energy drinks. This girl had surgery. She almost had her kidney removed. Energy drinks bad. I'm like, what else was she doing? What else was she taking? Is she a druggie? Did she have a underlying issue already that her kidney was already failing and energy drink just tipped her off? Because God, I could drink 17,000 cups of coffee. You could go drink 5 energy drinks for the next year and you're going to be completely fine. Why? Because you're healthy, right? You don't have any underlying issues. So I was like, let me dive into this melatonin thing. And came to find out the average age of the person in this study, 130,000 people, taking melatonin was 55.7, okay? Older demographic, right? The other thing that they managed was they could not have had heart failure in the past, okay? They had similar BMIs, similar weight, that was it. No lifestyle talk, no diet talk. Oh, here's the funny thing. They all had insomnia or extreme insomnia already, right? So you're old, you have insomnia. I'm not sure if you're obese. I'm not sure if you're fat. I'm not sure what you eat. I'm not sure what your lifestyle is. I don't know if you smoke. I don't know if you're on psychiatric drugs. I don't know any other medications you're taking because the only medication they were not allowed to take was a sleeping pill. There was just one sleeping pill on the list. That was it. Any other medications were okay. So it just kind of opened my eyes to, I used to be that person. I don't know if you were. I'd read a headline and be like, holy shit, melatonin is bad. Yeah. Holy cow, energy drinks. Yeah, maybe I should cut back. Maybe I shouldn't do them. You just see these headlines and you'd be like, oh yeah, wow, that's questioning everything I believe. Yeah, I believe you. I mean, you're telling me that. It must be true. American Heart Association. Why would you lie to me?
Yeah.
Why would you make this up? Melatonin bad. Cool. And then you start to dive into the research and you look at all the parameters and what they set up and you start to think for yourself and you're like, holy shit, like this is the most bogus study. And then you're like, what are you guys pushing? You're pushing sleep medicines? What's your end goal? What's your agenda?
Yeah, it's wild how they take tests. They take these studies and these tests, and then they just to exactly to your point is they'll twist the study in a way and only give you a certain part of information to make it seem like, hey, this isn't good for you.
Yeah.
But they didn't just tell you all the parameters of the study that they took.
Yeah.
Where all that stuff matters.
Sure.
But you probably don't care about that, Mr. Reader. So we'll just go straight to the headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Headlines,
a thought piece to make you believe and see things in a different way. And that's really how we are here right now, here today.
Yeah.
With peptides.
Yeah.
Because they're not widely televised. I mean, this is a new industry that, I think most people that see this video will probably have at least heard of peptides. BBC 1x7 is one of the more popular ones out there.
Ozempic.
I don't even think most people don't even know Ozempic is a peptide. Semaglutide.
They just think it's medicine.
Yeah, and then you go back, when I tell people about peptides, I talk about that one. I also talk about insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin is one of the first peptides ever created.
Yeah, it's funny because I had somebody explain it too, and he goes, insulin's a peptide, growth hormone's a peptide. And I didn't understand what insulin was. I just knew insulin, people, diabetics and stuff took it. I didn't know what it was. I also knew bodybuilders took it before their workout to shuttle carbs and blow them up and get veins and vascularity. If you take too much, you die. I was like, shit, that sounds bad. Don't want any of that. So yeah, it's interesting. The headlines are interesting. It's interesting. Why don't you take healthy people into a study?
Yeah, healthy
There's
people.
a concept.
Oh yeah.
See if something actually works. Somebody that understands their body, eats well, exercises, isn't super old and decrepit, doesn't have any underlying issues. I mean, there's a great concept. wouldn't it make sense to try things on a healthy person, the way a body's supposed to function?
Yeah.
As opposed to a decrepit, old, overweight, possibly diabetic, God knows what other medicine somebody's on, and then let's give them something and see what happens. I mean, it's like a death sentence, hence the heart failure.
Yeah. So how have peptides change your daily routine, mindset, and view of longevity?
Peptides have completely changed my entire life. And as lame as that sounds, and as salesy as that sounds, they have absolutely taken over to leading me. I was always, as my wife says, my wife's a crunchy person, which if you don't know, I'm sure you know what crunchy is because we live in the same world, but crunchy is natural, don't like medicine, we're not big fans of doctors. Again, they have a time and a place.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
We don't like having babies in the hospital. We just had our last baby at home in our bathtub, and it was the funniest thing because I tell people that. And they're like, oh my God, did you go to a class? Did you this? I'm like, no man, watched a video one time. And we're like, oh my gosh, what? I don't know. The baby comes out of the vagina, right? Pretty simple. She pushes, comes out, pick it up.
Yeah.
How complicated could it be? I mean, back in the day, that's what they used to do. They just push babies out like nobody's business, right? They didn't have all these vaccines and doctors and teams and medicines and epidurals and everything like that. So I was always in that belief, and I think what really opened up my eyes is my first son when he was 10 months old, right? God forbid, I was the one, I'm the one blamed for him being circumcised because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I am. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And my wife fought me on it at the beginning and I didn't listen. I said, no, this is what you're going to do. This is how it is. Do it. And I regret that a lot. But then 10 months in, I think vaccine, we're sitting there in the doctor's office and my wife had been doing a bunch of research and stuff and she was going down that route already. And we started asking, the doctor came into the room because, you're waiting there for freaking 2 hours for somebody to come in for a wellness check. And if y'all don't know what a wellness check is, they weigh you, their ears, oh my gosh, your heart, listen to you. Okay, now let me jab you with some vaccines, right? That's the whole point of a wellness check. I have a scale at home. I can weigh the damn kid. I talk to him. He looks at me. Everything's fine. He's healthy. And we started asking questions, and she started asking about vaccines and what is it and what's in it and what about the black box warning inside that nobody knows about. And before you know it, we're kicked out of the doctor's office. We're told never to come back. Yes,
asking questions.
Told never to come back. And that really opened up my eyes into what the hell is going on here? What are these things? Why are we just doing what we're told?
From the doctor, do you think that's more of a protocol by asking questions to get kicked out, or do you think it's more of a pride thing, like a push on his
protocol?
Pride?
Because then if you look into everything that, as far as my information goes, that they have to hit a certain percentage of the patients, the kids in a pediatric office that need to be vaccinated. That's how they get their bonus. That's how they make money from pharma, is you have to vaccinate, and then they go to this schedule that's made up. And from my information too, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but doctors, when they go to school, they are not taught anything about vaccines. They spent maybe a day to a day and a half learning about vaccines. They don't learn what they are, what's in them, what the ingredients are. All they learn is, here's when you need them, here's what the schedule, here's how you do it, go.
I think it's a little bit of both. Not only a protocol to ask you to leave, but it's also, I think it's a little bit of pride thing, because hey, whoa, I just went to
questioning me
8 years of school to get my PhD in this one topic, and now you're questioning why.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, this is my child. And why would it not be okay for me to ask questions simply about what you're going to put inside him?
Right.
And that's a scary thought. And we're on the same page as your family as well, as you know. And COVID really opened up our eyes to what happened in that world, and it was one of those things where we said, okay, I guess we're going to actually start asking questions.
Sure.
And we decided not to. And that's
with both your kids?
Both my kids. Both the kids. And now we're trying for a third, and we'll continue that just not having vaccines. That's just where we are as a family.
That's a great start. Well, and like you said, they're healthy.
They are very healthy. We went to the pediatrician multiple times for, we go once a year just to make sure we get that on record, because I've heard scary stories about parents not taking their kids to the doctor for years at a time.
Oh, really?
CPS came in and took them because they were not regularly taking their kids to the doctor.
Interesting.
It's wild, right? So we go at least once a year, just to get a check to say, okay, hey, we were there, we took them to the doctor, they gave us the thumbs up that, hey, your child is healthy. So we got it on paper, because it's a scary world today. If you don't have that receipt, things can happen nowadays.
Well, my middle boy will be 7 in a couple of weeks, and he has never seen a doctor in his life besides the day he was born.
Yeah.
Never been, never seen, never gone anywhere, nothing. Oh, and he had measles. Oh my God, and he lived. He lived. Yeah. He is here today to talk about it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch the Brady Bunch? The show?
Back in the day.
Yeah. So back then, right? The Brady Bunch in the 70s, it was a big show. But we used to watch reruns and stuff. They actually, you heard of chicken pox. Did you ever have chicken pox?
I did have chicken pox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there was chicken pox parties, right? Kid in the neighborhood come over. Oh my God, Johnny has chicken pox. Bring all your kids over. Build that immune system, right? Natural immunity. Well, they used to do measles back in the day.
Yeah.
It was the same concept. It was funny because my middle son, so my first son vaccinated up until he was 9 months, right? No MMR, no nothing. Because he didn't get to that point yet, which is measles, mumps, rubella. So he's good. Second son, born in the hospital, worst experience on the planet. We got out of there as fast as we can. Usually you have to say 24 hours. I think we got out of there in 23 hours. Because the time he was born, we're like, get us out of here. Don't take our kid out of the room. Don't move him. Don't wash him. He will never leave our sight because God knows what you people are going to do. And probably when he was 2 and 3, he started getting these bumps on him. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And so cool thing about to this day and age is teledocs, Amazon, right? Boom, snap a picture, go on there. What the hell is wrong with my kid? They send out, my wife's doing all this, this long explanation of whatever the shit it is. And I'm like, I bet that's measles. I think it's gotta be. And they come back and the doc goes, yep, blah, 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 all technical, weird name. And then she's like, what is that? Measles. Oh, cool. I'm like, watch this. What do you do for it? Right back? Nothing. Wait a week. Hydrate him. He'll be fine. I'm like, there you go.
The measles pandemic we had, I don't remember when exactly time frame, but it was back in the day, and it's really why the vaccine started was really the impoverished kids. They were low health, low money. They didn't really eat a lot of food, didn't eat good food.
Sure.
And they were dying
bad water.
They were dying from measles because it was just a sad situation where they didn't have the resources to be healthy. And now we're pushed on with this measles vaccine.
Well, and polio.
Your kids need it.
Polio man-made.
Yeah.
So a good example too is, and you'll agree with this, COVID. I tell my daughter this all the time, and my boys, they're getting older, and we both homeschool, so they don't go to school, so they won't be indoctrinated with these books and all these beliefs of shit we don't agree with. But if you look at the history of diseases and everything, right? So we've all been a part of COVID, and we saw it play out, right? I don't know where you were at that point. We were the first to say in our family, definitely, this shit is man-made. Here's what happened. We bought into all that because of certain circles. Oh my God, we were ostracized in my family.
Sure.
We were the weirdos, right? The weirdos all along that didn't believe in masks were like, oh my gosh, we went outside, we did a bunch of stuff, we've been in public places. I mean, I had a family member that literally met us for lunch in the very beginning, wouldn't let their kids get out of the car. Like, wouldn't let their kids associate with my kids. I'm like, Jesus, what is wrong with my kids? Like, we're outside, everything's fine. These are the same people, my family's guilty of this, people that had birthdays birthdays during COVID, and they would do those car parties where they're driving by your house and honking and shit. And I'm like, Mike, this is like the dumbest thing on the planet. Like, I can't believe people are doing this. And all along we're screaming the whistle like, look, I understand that you guys have different beliefs, but look at the facts. Look where this thing came from. Look at what all these big elite people did and how they prepped us for this and how they already told us they were going to do this. But nobody was paying attention. And this is just the flu. I mean, what is it? You look at a Lysol bottle from years and years before COVID and it said protects you against COVID. We're just going to put a name on it and give it a 19 for 2019. And then you know what we're going to do? It's genius. We're going to make you wear a mask. Right? And nobody connected the dots. Why do you wear a mask? Because you can't see sickness. You can't see it in the air. So if you can't see it, it's not real. But God, if we make you wear a mask, you know what? We make everybody wear a mask. That shit is real. You can see it everywhere you go. And then it's mask versus unmasked people.
Oh yeah.
And then it's black versus white. And then you just pin everybody together. You know? I'm sure you were like me standing in the line. So I was standing in the line of Buc-ee's and some turd bucket freaking started talking to me because I didn't have a damn mask on. I'm like, dude, you got to be out of your mind. And then you see those freaks, excuse me, sorry to say that, but driving in their car with plastic on their sheets, gloves, mask, and it's like windows rolled up. I'm like, what are you guys
By
doing?
themselves.
Oh my God, by themselves. Like plastic on sheets. I came out of Trader Joe's one time looking at this lady's car, and because you can see through the windows, and just plastic all over the sheets. But then I'm like, you're touching all this stuff, and then you're touching your steering wheel, and it's just, the concept of it made no sense. But yeah, that was kind of eye-opening.
Yeah.
Get off on tangents for sure.
We definitely got on a tangent.
I
there.
like tangents, though.
No, it's good.
Tangents make it fresh, make it real.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're going to clip the crap out of this.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll post long form stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of talked on this one, but do you believe peptides are a part of the next medical revolution, or is it just a fad?
I hate to say medical, because I think medical is tied to doctors, and doctors will never buy in, because that's like buying into natural immunity, and you can't make money on that, right? So we both know that.
Well, if there is money to be made, they will buy.
Yeah, but the problem is there money to be made? Because you can't patent a natural sequence. And again, it goes back to why we love peptides so much,
Well,
because
they'll just
they
do
are
the same
natural.
thing they did with Ozempic. Is
So they changed
the slightly
Yeah.
formula a
Yeah.
little bit from semaglutide. Now they call it Ozempic, and now everybody's having bad reactions to it.
And when I looked up,
sudden blindness.
they put lizard saliva in it, right? It's kind of it's kind of goes back to vaccines.
Yeah.
Right? All the shit, what is it, the monkey, or do you know what I'm talking about?
Monkeypox.
What with vaccines, they put like random weird stuff in it, obviously aluminum, right, as an adjuvant, but they put this weird, I don't know.
They do bioengineering with
Yeah, weird
they give
stuff.
diseases to like animals, and they sequence a vaccine from an animal that has a new disease.
Well, then they take like a part of an animal, so Ozempic, I mean, you can look it up, it's common knowledge, they put lizard saliva in Ozempic. For what reason, I don't know. I have to look at it. But they did the same thing with other vaccines. And they take parts of animals and stuff, whatever it may be, some benefit, and put it in there. So it goes against biology, it goes against physiology, it goes against all naturally how you're working, right? Because we're taking outside stuff and putting it in your body.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing. That's not how your body's made to run. It goes back, I mean, that ties in with the food everybody eats, right? All the junk they do. I mean, it's because how do you get people addicted? Put really good shit in there. But it's not good for you, chemicals, right? So make it addicting, they make it cheap, but then they get you hooked.
Yeah.
It jacks up your biology.
Nailed it. So I guess you would say that even though it may or may not be taken in as the next medical revolution, it's probably going to be around for quite some time, unless they
God, I hope.
take them off the market and label them dangerous, which is already happening. Because I mean, I see a lot of people on social media, people that I know from my past, people that I know that have clinics. They have a doctor title next to their Instagram handle, and I see them talking on social media, and they're like, well, you got all these research chemicals out there,
Sure.
and if you buy from these research chemical places, you don't know what you're getting. Which there is some validity to that, but these guys will go on Instagram and they'll say, yeah, this is dangerous. There's not enough studies. Or this is what I'm taking, but this is safe.
Yeah.
There's a couple different types of BPC 157 out there. It's an arginine BPC 157.
Yeah.
It's
Arginine salt.
Yeah, it's salt, which it does lengthen the half-life by a couple hours, which that's pretty small when you're talking about a peptide. But these doctors will go on there and they'll downplay the research chemicals, which, like I said, there is some validity
What's their agenda?
Yeah, and at the end of the
What's their
day,
agenda?
if you're doing your research,
Sure.
making sure your peptides are at a high purity level, pharmaceutical grade, 98 to 99% and above, there's not a lot of risks.
Right.
And unless you get into the GHRHs, and those do hold some risk. If you have had cancer, then you could grow it more.
Yeah. Sure.
But besides those, there's not a lot of downfall, not a lot of risk.
Zero.
To the ones out
Zero.
there. And I mean, you've been on peptides for years. I myself have been on peptides for about 5 or 6 years or so. And all throughout this time, I've been doing my own blood work. And at first, I was doing it with the teledoc service. And I'm a learner. I want to know. So I would ask questions, and eventually they'd have to kick me off this video call, because I guess my time's up.
Buddy, you used too much of your time.
My time's up. So I would literally record my teledoc phone call so I could go back and listen to what we were talking about, the questions. And I've got now 4 or 5 years of blood work that I can go back and look on. And I've got,
cool.
I chart it all so I can see where it's
God,
going.
You're nerding out.
Nerding out, yeah.
That's
and I understand it now. So it's not just like, I'm gonna guess and pin myself and just assume that everything's okay inside the body.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, the fad is, fitness wear. I got 2 of them. I got 2 fitness wears right here.
You do?
And yeah, I got 2 fitness
2
wears.
phones, 2 watches.
And these are great for different things. Yeah, you got nothing.
I got
and
nothing.
Step counter is great. I want to make sure I get my steps in because that's a good health key indicators. Like you're getting your steps in every day. The sleep is great. You measure your sleep, but there are some other metrics that do hold some weight, but none of them come close to getting regular blood work done. And if you're not doing it, the real nerds are doing it monthly. They get that monthly subscription, and then you can do it quarterly, but at minimum once a year. Like that's at minimum, and nothing can even measure up to any other indicators than a blood panel.
Sure. Yeah. And tells you what's going on the inside.
And I can list off a bunch of important ones. We won't get into that today, but that is the highest metric of health is paying attention what's going on inside your body.
Sure. And that goes
the hood
back
and the engine oil and take a look at it.
That goes back into understanding the body and how it works. And I think we should all be taught that, or at least explore that, because again, you're spending your most time on this earth with this body.
Yeah.
You have one body. And what are you doing with it? How are you treating it? What are you putting inside of it? Right? Do you understand the way it works? Do you understand the way it functions? And the idea is, it goes back to why we're so against medicine and the things that they tell us, because they tell us that we degrade over time at 40, I mean, what 40 back when my dad turned 40, you buy all that over the hill shit, right? You buy the tombstones and everything like that and have an over the hill party. Hey buddy, your life's pretty fucking much over.
Yeah, the black balloons
You're done.
Over the hill.
Yeah, 40. Yeah. Nowadays it's different, right? Because everybody's living a lot longer and we're healthier, whatever that means. And so 40 is like the new, 55? I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously everybody looks different at a certain age. My God, I see 40-year-olds that look like they've been run over by a bus 17,000 times. It's absolutely insane.
At 36, I am the most healthy I've ever been in my life. And it's not a trend.
That's something to brag about.
Yeah, it's not just a trend I'm like chasing. It's just like, okay, what's the next right step today? I'm not going to try to take it all in at once.
And I could be speaking for you, but you're not going for a look. It's not the outside, right? Sure. Because I think what we want to get through to everybody over and over and over is that if you take care of the inside, the outside will reflect that.
You nailed it. I'm not chasing the banana hammock body.
No.
Yeah, I'm just...
Because I know guys that are jacked, ripped, and in shape, and fucking will keel over with a heart attack. And already did. Yeah. And you look at them, you're like, what the hell just happened? They look phenomenal on the outside, right? Or how many YouTuber, influencer, muscle guys keel over and they had these physiques that everybody just worshipped. And you're like, well, that's because they didn't treat their body well. They did stuff they weren't supposed to. They didn't look at their markers. It touches back on what you were talking about.
That's the biggest thing I could encourage someone to do is go get a blood panel done.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, if you haven't done it in years, or even when you go to the doctor's office, you ask for a copy of it. Yeah. Ask them what you're testing. Are you testing hemoglobin A1C? Are you testing my entire lipid panel? ApoB, HDL, LDL, VDL. I mean, the list goes on when it comes to blood. I mean, you could spend $1,000 to get a good blood panel, which is probably wise to do at least once a year. And you don't have to go to the doctor's office to get a blood panel.
No,
you can go online.
Now, right? And everything's easy now.
And it'll send your blood panel straight to a lab, LabCorp, Quest, whatever. And you go in and you do a lab panel and email it straight to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't go through a doctor's hand.
You never have to leave your house for anything.
Yeah.
You can do fecal checks, you can do blood work, you can figure out the sex of your baby at home, you send the blood in.
Oh man, I just did a fertility sample not too long ago, man. Working on the next baby. And this is for another conversation of coming off of T and then trying to get fertile again, which you know a lot about.
See, you're lucky.
Yeah.
So you could do that at home and send it away. I had to go to a place in an office of a bunch of closed doors.
That's creepy.
With a bunch of nurses that put you in a room with a bunch of weird stuff and magazines and videos and say, hey, Let us know when you're done. You're like, this is awkward.
Hoping the room
Yeah.
is clean and
You're like,
sterile.
well, no, but you're like, everybody knows what you're doing in there.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird.
Sure.
And you got to perform. It's like when I was a kid and I would go to football games and we had all the trough toilets, right? And all these old men, and I was young, and you get up there and you're like, and everybody's just exposed. And you get a little stage fright. You're like, oh my God, I could never pee.
Sure.
So it's like stage fright in there.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you get to do everything at home now. So what you're saying is there's no excuse.
None.
Zero excuse to figure out what the hell's wrong with you.
We live in a day and
Why
age
isn't something
where
working?
all the tools
Yeah.
are accessible.
Well, and I think too, what's hard is most guys, and I'm sure you're the same way I am, we are stubborn as shit.
Yeah.
So we will not fix something until we know it is so extremely broken that, oh my God, this is affecting my life, and what the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right? We don't pay attention to symptoms or anything that's a little bit off in our bodies. And I always say too, with people that come in this store and they're like, oh yeah, I think my testosterone's good. I'm like, well, you wouldn't know, because we are told that our norm is something that's so low that it's okay, right? Because back in the 70s, testosterone used to be 1100, 1200 was the norm, right? That's where you're supposed to be now. What is it, 300? And you're supposed to be fine? Like, how did it drop 800 points? And we're still gonna call you a man, and you're still supposed to function in a manly way and attack and just absolutely crush this life. How do you do that with no testosterone? So if you understand testosterone is the foundation to everything.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, how do you do that? So it's just lowering all those levels, and they just don't want us to be men anymore.
Yeah. And when you take testosterone, it grows bone density, it grows muscle mass. And as we age, we have something to look forward to known as sarcopenia. Have you heard of sarcopenia?
I have.
Sarcopenia is basically your body degrades. Your muscle starts to get smaller, your bone density starts to get weakened, gets less, and you run the risk of falling and breaking something. And a great marker of longevity is how much muscle mass you have, how much bone density you have.
Yeah.
You know, when you get
Old
old
people,
and you
osteoporosis.
fall, you want to be able to sustain from
Yeah.
the fall and get back up and just shake it off.
Well, in our world, you have SARMs for that, right?
Yeah.
MK2866.
Yeah.
There's also